this is the life.
Aye, very passable.
Nothing like a good glass of champagne, boys.
Yeah.
You said it,
Yeah,
Sean.
Yeah.
Hey.
Who'd have thought 20 years ago we'd be sat here drinking Chateau de Shahzaib?
Aye.
Hey.
Yeah.
In them days, we're glad to have the price of a cup of tea.
Hey, a cup of cold tea.
Without milk or sugar.
Or tea.
In a cracked cup and all.
Oh, we never used to have a cup. We used to drink out of a rolled up newspaper.
The best we could manage was to suck on a piece of damp cloth.
But you know, I often think we were happy in those days. Although we were very poor.
Because we were poor, my old dad used to say to me, money doesn't buy you happiness, son.
He was right. I was much happier back then, and I had nothing. We used to live in this tiny old tumble-down house with great big holes in the roof.
House? You were lucky to have a house. We all had to live in one room, all 26 of us, no furniture, off the floor were missing. We were all huddled together in one corner for fear of falling.
You were lucky to have a room. We had to live in the corridor.
Oh, we used to dream of living in a corridor. Would have been a palace to us. We used to live in an old plastic bag, yeah, on the rubbish tip. We were woken up every morning by having loads of rubbish dumped on us. House.
Well, when I said house, what I really meant was a hole in the ground covered by a sheet of torn canvas. But it was a house to us.
We were evicted from our hole in the ground. We had to go live in a lake.
You were lucky to have a lake. There was 150 us living in a matchbox in the middle of the railway.
Mainline railway.
Eh?
You were lucky. We lived for 3 months in a rotting newspaper in a sewage tank. Every day we got up at 6 in the morning, cleaned the sewage tank, ate a crust of stale bread, worked 14 hours a day, for 2 pence a month. And when we got home, our dad would thrash us to sleep with his belt.
Luxury. We had to get out of the lake at 3 o'clock in the morning, drain the lake, eat a handful of stinging nettles, work 20 hours a day downmill for 10 pence a year, and when we got home, our dad would hit us in the back and neck with a broken bottle if we were lucky.
Of course. We had it tough. We used to have to get up out of the matchbox in the middle of the night and lick the whole railway clean with our tongue. Then we had to eat half a handful of freezing cold pointy gravel, work 24 hours a day, down the mill 5 pence every 10 years, and when we had to get home our dad would slice us in two with a butcher knife.
Right! I had to get up at 10 at night, half an hour before I went to bed, eat a lump of raw sewage, work 100 hours a day down the mill, and pay the mill owner for permission to come to work. And when we got home, our dad would kill us and dance about on the grave singing, Hallelujah!
You try telling the young influencers to do that, and they will believe a word of it.
No.